What?
So let me hold. No, let me. No, I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose.
Go ahead and explain this, baby.
For the people, they don't understand that.
What?
So we've unfortunately, because we like just being honest. We've had to do episode 3. This is like our 3rd time taping episode 3. So the first time I was like, "Hey, good evening," and then the second time I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Now you're just like, hello.
Hello. Nah, but again, it's
But
good.
not me. I'm all the time. What's up, beautiful people?
What's
Detroit,
good?
we love you.
So welcome. Okay, I'm back now.
Oh, you back good?
Yeah, I felt
am
my.
so-
you gave me some strength. I felt
Yes,
my
you felt your
strength.
help come
My
on.
help came on.
Because
My-
I am your
Help me.
Yes.
You left me hanging.
Oh, sorry.
So welcome to another episode. All of that to
We
say.
didn't even plan that little joke. That
Nah,
was
that
awesome.
was we ain't new to this.
We're true to this.
So welcome to Marriage is Dope, right? This is
Welcome.
Again, first of all, before we jump into all of this, because this is episode 3, and we want to say thank you all for who've been watching, listening,
yes.
sharing.
Yes. And keep sharing because those numbers are going up. So
They
we
are.
want followers, subscribers on all of our social media platforms. My Dope Marriage. You can find us on every one of them. Come on and tell somebody. And listen, even though our show is My Dope Marriage, My Marriage is Dope, you don't have to be a married couple to follow us. All right? These principles will transcend any relationship,
Absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely.
You can use them as a parent, as just a friend, you know what I'm saying? A good family member, a good church member.
Some of these principles are transcendent and transferable, right?
Yes, they are.
But also, if you're even thinking about ever getting married.
That part.
I mean, I don't care when. It could be 35 years from now. You want to learn something now that could benefit you later. So whoever you are, tune in, tell a friend that Marriage is Dope is out here blessing folks' relationships.
Yes, every week. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump right on into tonight's topic, today's
Okay.
topic. You know, it is, of course, a question that I think people do ask, even though they might
think
have an
sometimes,
idea.
yeah.
You know, especially, say, let me give you a scenario. A boyfriend and girlfriend been dating 3 years, and she says, "You know what? You need to put a ring on it."
Well, Beyonce said if you love it, then you ought to put a ring on
She
it.
did.
So she
you
made
know,
it pretty.
So, but you know, and did you like my girlfriend tone? I was like,
was-
you know, you need to put a ring on it.
That was all. You know, they remind me of
What?
the girls talking in Baby Got Back.
I don't know. No, actually, I don't
Remember-
know.
Oh, it was
Obviously,
like-
that was a very male-friendly
No,
video.
but it was some women. They was like, look at her butt.
Okay.
It's so okay. But it was
That's
just
how it
that it was
sounds?
that California
Oh, okay.
surfer,
All right.
valley girl type.
Oh, okay. I
Sound
got
like-
you.
It took me a long time to get there. But
It did. I wasn't quite sure where we were going with this whole Luke thing.
You're right. That was sort of weird, but anyway.
But you brought it around. I got it.
Okay,
All right.
I brought it
But
around.
you know, I think this is kind of an age-old question that people ask themselves,
Okay.
especially when this comes up in relationships.
Okay.
Right? And that is,
What is marriage?
what is it?
And then, you know, before we was on the air, the song came in my head was "What is love?"
Yeah, I know, right? And the same thing.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
So what is marriage, right?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
So because this is important, right? We're talking about marriage being dope.
Yeah.
A lot of people have understood what we believe dope is, right? Because we
Right.
told people that dope is intoxicating.
I'd rather be with you, boo.
Let me just go ahead and get that out the way in the beginning of the episode because she's going to be waiting all night for me to say this. So we know what dope is, right? But then you'd be surprised at how many people don't really know what marriage is,
Yeah.
right? When you ask the average person, what do they think marriage is? Most people tend to think of marriage in terms of a contract.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say like two people just entering an agreement
Right.
to pay bills together,
Uh-huh.
to live together.
Live together.
And, just to, to do life. But it's more, it's a deeper commitment.
It really
connection
is. It really
than
is.
just that. We enter contracts all day. You enter a contract to buy a car, to buy a home.
Cable,
Right, a credit card,
electricity,
everything.
everything.
But marriage is more than
it's
just
it's
that
more than a contract
Yes.
because when people think of contract, and you often hear people say, "Why should I get married?" It's nothing but a piece of paper.
Right. Well, that goes back to the point I was making earlier,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I said that this question comes up usually about that time
Right.
when someone in the relationship wants to take the relationship to the next step.
Absolutely.
And they're like, okay, what are we doing here?
What are we doing
You
here?
know, are we long term? Are we committing to one another?
Right.
And then if the other person is not ready, that's really the first. Usually,
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
going to say, I'm going to put myself out there and say probably
Put yourself on
85%
Front
of the
Street.
time, the answer is, well, it's just a piece of
It's
paper.
just a piece of paper. It don't
You know,
mean nothing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It don't prove how much I love you.
Girl, you know I love you. I don't
Yes.
need no. I don't
And
need.
I'm
Watch.
sorry,
Hold on.
maybe
I don't
that
need no paper, no preacher to tell me I love you.
You're right.
I love you. Okay, cool. I got you. I
And I
got
guess
you.
we're a little biased there that assuming that it's the man in the relationship,
I mean, I don't know many women who say that.
generally.
It's a new day.
Generally.
It's a new day.
Right?
You're right.
Exactly.
'Cause,
generally.
I
But
think
that's the
I
excuse
think
that
Michael
they
B.
use.
Jordan wanted to be married, but I
Don't-
think she
don't-
might have
don't-
said that.
Don't go
Okay,
there.
okay, I'm just-
but yeah, that they
Yeah, that didn't work out
need
too good,
relationship. Those are not relationship goals,
They're
people.
not relationship goals.
Them not my
Not
relationship
relationship
yeah.
goals, yeah.
But that is one of the excuses they say
Yeah.
is that it's just a piece of
It's
paper.
this piece of paper. And not only do I believe, sweetheart, that it keeps people from getting married, because people think of marriage as just a contract, it becomes easy for them to get out of marriage and get a divorce.
Right.
Because all they see is that I'm just breaking the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I'll take whatever penalty it is.
Absolutely.
But listen, the penalty can be greater
Yeah.
than what we understand. We'll talk about that in future episodes. Just the emotional
Man.
and physical toll that separation and divorce can
Divorce.
have
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a couple, and you don't even realize it, even if you say, well, we're not in love and we felt, we have grown apart.
Listen.
But yeah, they think that they can break it without penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know we both know
Or they'll
people
just eat up the penalty. It's like
I'll just take
I'll
it.
just take this L.
until you realize how deep that loss is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because, listen, real talk, and if you've been through divorce, you can attest to this. Divorce, in a lot of ways, is like death,
It is.
right? You really have to go through grief recovery, because the same steps that you go through when you lose somebody are literally the same steps that you find yourself going through when you lose your partner.
Yeah, that's right. And that is so good that people really don't understand that, because what we are going to tell you that while marriage should not be viewed as a contract,
Uh-huh.
it is what God intended it to be,
Which
and that
is?
is a covenant.
It's a covenant.
And a covenant, it is a deeper,
It's much deeper.
Yeah, it's a deeper
Yeah.
connection and
It is.
commitment.
It is. And I want to say real quick, I'm actually almost glad, and I don't want my media team to take this the wrong way, but I'm actually almost glad we had to do this third time, because I just feel like the third time was the charm.
Hey!
I'm enjoying this.
Oh,
This
yes.
is dope.
Yes, it is.
So, but one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this is because, again, when people see a happy marriage,
Mhm.
they don't understand that it took us a long time to get to this place.
Oh yeah. Again, like we said just a few episodes ago, we got married 3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, after knowing each other.
Absolutely.
So that was that point. And then we got married young.
Yeah, we got married young.
So although I saw marriage, right? It was before me, my grandparents, right? On both sides. People around me, the relationships, the friendships they had, these were all married couples,
Right.
strong, loving marriages, right? But I didn't know how to translate that into my own marriage.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, so even though I knew what marriage should look like,
Yeah.
right? Because I had examples,
Right.
I didn't know what marriage was for me.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Because I was young,
Yeah.
immature, had a lot of growing up
Right.
in a selfish stage.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on. when you're like in that stage between 18 to 25, some people might say 35, 45. I don't know.
'cause folks,
You know, you can be,
it's a different
you
day.
can be kind of, you are. It's not you can be. You're usually kind of self-absorbed.
Yeah,
In that time,
I can see that.
You
Yeah.
know, so I didn't know, I didn't understand, and I wanted a relationship, right?
Right.
I wanted a committed
You
relationship.
did. I mean,
right? But I didn't understand what it meant to be a wife, as far as, you know, working through challenges that
Yeah.
would come up and arise, right?
yeah.
In a contract, a challenge comes up, you know, you're like, oh, I'm going to walk away from this because I'm not going to deal with that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that in a covenant.
No, because again, it's not the same. And when you go into it not understanding what it is, that's what happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
The first few years of our marriage were rough, and a lot of that
You can
had
say
to
that
do-
again.
They were rough.
Say it for a third time.
I'm gonna do it like they did back in the day. Rough. I put some hip hop on it.
I
so
know
they
that's right.
They know I ain't playing with it.
I know that's right.
But when I look back at the reason why it was so challenging, it goes back to the fact that we didn't know what
Mhm.
marriage was,
Right.
right? Because I didn't grow up in an environment where we got married, right? My grandparents were married, but they were the only ones that directly in my family that I saw in marriage. And then unfortunately, at that time, it wasn't a healthy marriage.
Oh,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
And
so-
that makes a difference.
that
sure.
makes all the difference. And so for me, I didn't think a marriage nowhere near of a covenant, right? To
Mhm.
me, it was, I know that you're going to be the main woman in my life, but I hadn't really adjusted to the reality that you're going to be the only woman in my life.
Yeah.
Right.
This I know firsthand.
Were you witness?
I'm a witness.
You saw
I
it?
didn't want to be a
I
witness.
mean, you didn't. Now we're gonna talk too about the fact that I ain't the only one who cheated. Let me just go ahead, let me just throw it, since you're gonna put me on Front Street.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's for another
I thought you wanted to say
episode.
something about
No.
that. Okay. Just one. Okay, just figure because
Let
you know
me
what
just
I'm
go
saying.
ahead and hang my head in
Okay,
shame.
okay. I mean, you can
But
do
I
that.
have been redeemed, so
Bought with the price.
Yes.
So I didn't really. Again, you sing these songs about what the love and the love of my life,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get into a marriage, if you don't understand what it means to cut covenant with somebody,
Yeah.
you really don't come to the table with the level of sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
that you have to be willing to give in order for this covenant to work.
Yeah. And, as we said, you all know, we are pastors, we are believers. So the things that we share, these are principles taken right out of God's word.
Yeah.
So, so what then is God's covenant? What was that biblical meaning? What
Absolutely.
did he look to accomplish
With-
when
with-
there were covenants?
with covenant. Because you know what I noticed too, and I believe people watching will attest to this too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many of you guys put as much time and energy and planning into the marriage as you do the wedding,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the wedding, I mean, we figure out the color, the location, the reception,
Right.
the
We
guests,
go to cake tastings
tastings.
and caterers and things like that. And it's really, really shocking. And I'm not saying we did it because we didn't.
No,
All right, we got
that's-
married in
that's why
3
hey,
weeks
that's
and
what
we got
okay.
young. But now, and then we got married young. But
Mhm.
now that we're mature, okay, and we've been in this 30 years, it amazes me the number of people that are willing to get married without seeking any counsel.
Any counseling.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, first of all, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, you
Okay.
should want to seek counsel from your pastor.
You should.
Right? But for whatever reason, if you don't, and I don't understand that.
I don't quite get
that's-
that either.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, I don't quite
all
get
right?
that either.
But for whatever reason, if you don't, you should still seek
Unless
out.
your pastor's a sugar daddy. I don't know what else.
You know what? I cannot. But, go seek out professional
Get some
counseling.
get some counseling.
Go look in the yellow pages. Now they have that doctor.com, the whole app.
Whatever.
You can ask,
It's-
put in your
it's-
answers to
yeah.
questions and it'll match you up with someone who
Yeah.
lines up with your beliefs or values or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But it baffles me that you don't want to take time to discuss and develop and just really put everything out on the line when there's so many things that are challenging marriages
Yeah.
in this day and age.
Absolutely.
And especially understanding that the two people are coming from two different backgrounds.
Mhm.
So again, you may be, looking at this as only a contract. I may be looking at it in the sense that God intended as a covenant.
Yeah.
But if we're not on the same page, we're starting off already wrong.
Absolutely, because we've thrown around this word covenant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to just let you guys know what a covenant is.
Yes.
We all understand a contract, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Contract is an agreement between two parties.
Right.
Right.
With terms
Terms
and conditions.
And if one party does not uphold their end, the contract is null and void.
Right. The other one can say, don't want
Absolutely. The difference in a covenant is this, and especially as, again, people of faith,
Mhm.
right? With a covenant is something that you're in agreement, or you cut an agreement, or it's almost a contract because you have an agreement with this person.
it. Mm-hmm.
But more than the agreement or the contract being with this person, it's with God.
That's right.
So what do you mean? I mean that when we come to the altar, we're reciting some vows, but what we're really saying is not that I'm going to do this for you. It's saying, God,
Mhm.
I'm going to do this for you, and they're going to get the benefits of it.
Yeah,
right?
that's good.
Because everything I'm doing it for you first, God.
Yeah.
And so that if they don't do their part,
I'm still
contract
going
is
to
still
uphold
is in
mine.
effect.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly. That right there is good. And I think we should just pause
Okay.
right there because sometimes that's a great breakdown in marriages,
Okay.
right? That people say, well, I don't think I need to show him any respect because he's not showing me any affection.
Mhm.
He's not loving me the way he should.
Right.
And see, that's what people do when you just in a contract. Well, you ain't did your part. See, over here in the terms and conditions, it says you're supposed to do this. So I'm not doing my part. But like you said, in a covenant, it is not only this agreement between one another, but it's between you and God.
Absolutely.
And so I'm saying to God that, Lord, listen, I don't care what he does.
Yeah.
Listen.
I felt that. Because I can feel people like, what?
No, I mean, listen. Abuse,
It's not easy.
right? An abuse. We don't say anyone
Yeah,
to stay
yeah,
in a
no one's-
relationship
no,
where
absolutely.
you're being
Yeah.
abused.
Absolutely.
Okay, that
We're
you
not
need
talking
to
about that.
separate yourself.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily mean that you have to get a divorce. Well, again,
Not
we got so
immediately.
many episodes coming up.
Not
You never,
immediately, but
right?
you definitely
but
need
you
to
need
get
to
out of that
separate and get
environment.
out of that
Yeah.
hostile
Where abuse-
environment, right? But
We're talking about
communication, for
Communication,
instance.
right.
Like, I want my husband to communicate more with me. So, but because he's not, or because he doesn't understand the communication that I need or I'm looking for, or he hasn't gotten to that point, now I'm going to withhold me. I'm going to withhold my body.
There you go. Because listen, let's not play with this, right?
I know.
Because
I know.
the
I'm
one
a-
thing that a
Yes.
wife withholds is the cookie.
The majority.
The cookie. The cookie. So
The
you
cookie
ain't gonna
jar
talk to
be
me.
closed.
Cookie jar closed. So let me just go ahead and tell everybody to tell them to give them the cookie.
give him the cookies.
All right, she said it, not me. She said it, not me. Give him the cookie. Chocolate chip. Give 'em the cookie.
Whatever the flavor.
Whatever the flavor.
but I mean, see, I was going
Because
somewhere
I
serious
know
with
where
it,
you were going because you
know,
were saying
but-
that when you are in covenant, you do what's right because it's right before
Exactly,
God. Right?
exactly.
So that means the other person doesn't always have to be right or as right as you want them to be to give them what they deserve.
Right.
And it goes both ways because men can shut down.
Right. Oh yeah,
Right?
definitely.
And men shut down with one of the things that women need, which is communication.
Communication,
So
affection.
affection. So we just stop talking. Go to the bar for some people. Go hang out with your friends. Watch the game.
Yeah, I
Or
was gonna say
just
go in the man cave.
right? Because I don't feel like dealing with her because she didn't give me what I felt I
Right.
needed. So I'm going to shut down what she needs the most because
Exactly.
women need that affection and communication. Am I right?
Yes, exactly. Over the years, many people, right, have talked about relationships. There is definitely a psychological terms that are valid, right, and research. So there are love languages.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? And everybody has a different type of love language. So not knowing, not trying to take and see what's important to your spouse, that is something that's going to cause rift, right?
Absolutely.
And so you should be wanting to know, I'm not going to withhold what my spouse needs.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to be looking for ways to cause rifts
That's
in my
good.
marriage.
Yeah.
You know, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to kill yourself? The covenant between the two people is supposed to make sure that you guys are equally invested.
So you know that made me think of something.
Go ahead.
And there's this thing happening in the church because one of the things that some believers, I don't know where you stand, believe in is a principle called tithing, right? And
I believe in it.
I do too.
Okay.
And years ago, one of the things, the descriptions of tithing, it was called the covenant connector, right?
Yes,
And so
sir.
what it was saying is that when we tithe, we are reminding ourselves of the covenant we have with God.
Yes.
Well, now, there's been a movement of people trying to prove why we shouldn't tithe. And one of the things I say to that notion is that why is it that you can say you love God so much and you're looking for ways to give him less?
Right. Exactly.
If you're in a covenant with somebody, why would you say you love them so much, but yet you keep trying to find shortcuts so that you
to
can
get
give
out
them,
of.
right, give them what you said they don't deserve. We told God everything belongs to you, so what's 10%? You told your spouse, I'm yours.
Right.
So what's
exactly.
that little portion?
I'm all yours.
now.
You right? You
Come
know,
on now.
all of me. You can have all of me, baby.
All of me. I'm just that king to myself.
Who sings that? Oh, John Legend.
John Legend, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wants all of you. I was gonna make a gospel song out of that. I was like, that sounds pretty good. All of God wants all of us. Your
you know, but
imperfections and
it's okay. We don't
Don't
need
do
a
it?
we don't need a remix.
Okay,
no.
I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and keep it to
All right,
yourself.
okay.
But exactly right. Why would you want to do things that are not going to cause your relationship to grow and flourish?
Absolutely.
Right? Why am I going to withhold it? Now, you started to say something earlier,
Okay.
I think because you thought I was going to go a different way.
Okay.
And that is it always easy?
Okay.
No.
Nope.
If I could, and don't you dare do it, I would say Whitney Houston, no. And anybody ever watched the reality show, you know what
I didn't know what you was.
you know,
said don't do it. I was like, oh,
because
okay.
you be
Yeah, I got you.
sometimes
I got you.
just,
I got you.
just,
I got you.
You just,
Yeah.
you don't
But I
do
mean,
right.
you
You
know,
don't do right
sometimes it
sometimes.
works.
but the thing is that, tell it.
Sometimes the regular no just don't hit the same.
Yeah, but why would you want to withhold? Why would you want to do something that's going to hurt your relationship? Why would you want to do things that are going to pull you apart? I want to give all of me. And in the times when it's not easy to do, guess what? This is where I go to God. And
Absolutely.
I say, hey, God, now I made this covenant, Lord, according to your covenant.
Absolutely.
Now, Lord, number one, help me.
Help me.
Show me.
Yeah.
This should be our prayer, believers.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be going to God. God, fix them. Fix.
know that's
the
right.
first thing is, Lord, look at me. Lord, what is in me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? God, what's in me
Right.
that I need to change? That I need you to get in. There's a hidden place that I haven't let you uncover
Yeah.
and deal with. And then as you allow God to deal with you
That's
and you
good.
keep your heart pure,
Yeah.
then guess what? That opens up God, because now you ain't trying to tell God what to do with
Absolutely.
your spouse.
You
God
staying
has
in your lane.
Right, you stand in your lane. And now God has the right to get into his business.
And
right?
you know what? For those of you that may not be believers, you may not right now know how to go back to God. But you know what else you can go back to? Your wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In those moments where you don't feel like giving your best, remind yourself of the day that you promised to give your best.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do. You need some. Listen, people can cut a fool, and that's not. That's not your marriage is not exempt from folks cutting a fool. Let me go ahead and tell you something.
Nobody's
Let me
exempt.
tell you something. This
You
woman
cut a
right here,
fool?
she be cutting the fool all the time. She be
what?
cutting the fool all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I do sometimes.
That's right.
I'm listening.
That's right. And if you watch us on our social media platforms, you don't know about that cup of mouth that we be talking about. She be,
that I give out free
I
samples
mean, free
for.
samples of that cup of mouth.
I'm like
but,
Costco's.
yeah, but the reason why she can cut a fool because she married a fool. And this is why do fools fall in love?
I don't know if you deserve a
Come on,
high
man, that
five
was
on that,
dope.
but I'm not going.
That was
But I'm
dope.
not going to leave you hanging.
Don't leave me hanging.
I'm not
baby.
going to leave you hanging.
Don't leave me
so
hanging.
whether or not that was a high five moment, I don't know. But I'm
Okay.
gonna have your back.
Yeah, don't uncover me.
I won't.
Don't jada me.
You know, see,
I'm just
that's a
wondering.
whole other thing. That's
Don't
the
have
one.
me out here slapping people.
No, don't do it.
So, because here's the thing. Because so many people don't understand what a covenant is, what they end up doing is they end up living lives as friends with benefits plus a ring.
Yeah, some beneflicts too, like conflicts.
I thought you were going to say kung fu.
No.
Some of that happens too.
Yeah.
So this is why you find yourself doing life together, but not really doing life as covenant partners, right? You're paying bills together. You're raising the kids together, right? And hopefully you're having sex. That is a whole nother podcast because I don't understand how is it that you can't seem to get single folks out the bedroom, but you can't seem to get married folks in the bedroom.
I don't know.
I'm like, listen,
And-
we got 99 problems,
But
sex ain't
also-
one of them.
Also,
I said sex ain't one of
It's
them.
not.
Let the people know I ain't up here fronting.
No, you're not fronting.
Okay, I feel like Rick James.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
That's why it's so.
Give it to me, baby.
I'd rather
it's
be with
it's
you.
intoxicating. Oh, I'll say intoxicating for that. I'll say
Yeah.
intoxicating for that. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
That is not the intoxicating. And I'm on
Oh.
a whole nother vibe.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
in
sorry.
this vibe. I'd rather be with you.
So I can't say give it to me, baby?
No, Rick James was out there. He was out there. No, but the thing is that that's a renewing of the covenant because in
If I
a
started singing
covenant,
Fire and Desire, I bet you'd be feeling me
well,
then.
that's a different.
This is ain't Rick James.
I don't know. He was better when he
Okay.
had Tina Marie.
Ah, high five.
He had a woman in his life.
Come on.
One.
One,
But anyway,
I think.
we're going to run out of time here, but
Okay.
I want to say this. In the covenant relationship, when people cut covenant in the Bible,
Okay.
right? And they were doing the ritual
Yeah.
that goes with it,
Mhm.
right? All of that, it was the shedding of the blood, right?
Uh-huh.
It was the mixing of it
Yeah.
as they made their vows. And that portion does carry over into today's, into what the
Yeah,
marriage was
yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah.
And that is when the husband, the bride and the groom came together on their wedding night.
Right.
There should have been shedding of blood because of being a virgin,
Absolutely.
right?
That's
and
called
so
the blood
that
covenant.
that right, and so that was cutting.
That was
covenant,
cutting covenant.
right?
And
that's why your marriage is still not sealed until
it's consummated.
Right, it's consummated. And the thing is that sex within a marriage, it should be it should be intoxicating. I'd rather be with you.
Okay, I had to give you one.
Right? Yes, right. It should be fun. It should be
Oh, man.
exciting, right? But it also should be a reminder that you have
Absolutely.
entered a covenant
Covenant.
relationship with this person.
And we're out of time.
I know
Lord have mercy. Where'd the time go?
it flies.
Man, it fly. And hopefully
What?
this will be our last time
I know, honey.
doing episode 3.
But
That's for
you
the
know
people in
what?
the back. But it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was really good, and I can't wait. And I can't wait for you to see it and you to be blessed by it.
Yeah.
And everything. And I just can't wait for you to continue to be blessed by this podcast.
Absolutely.
Like we said, you can find us on all of our social media
All
platforms:
of them.
Facebook, YouTube. X, Instagram, TikTok. My Dope Marriage is where you want to go,
Right.
and you want to turn on the notifications,
Please.
so that you see.
You don't wanna miss these
You don't want to
episodes.
miss it, and you want to share it.
Yeah.
And you want to help us to keep getting those numbers up. We
Absolutely.
truly appreciate it because listen, one thing we know is that marriage is a journey,
It's a journey.
and marriage has its obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
it has its valleys, but then it has some mountain highs, honey.
All right.
Yes, it has some mountain
Ain't no
highs.
valley wide enough, mountain high enough. Keep me from you.
No, not at all. But most important, we have come to find out that marriage is dope.
dope.
Super dope.
God bless you. See you next
Yes.
time.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.